Good evening, race fans. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Welcome to round one of Big Brain Racing's 12 Days of Christmas. Tonight we are live from Donington Park. We have 12 races in 12 days, starting from 7 p.m. Practice server starts at 7 p.m. Race will start around 7:30. We are just about to start qualifying here at Donington. We've got quite a good grid here tonight. Looking at the times from practice so far. Just waiting for the last couple of cars to come across the line, and we can then start the qualifying session. How is everyone tonight? Where's everyone watching from?
Green line. Give it all you got.
We will jump into the action. Gaggle of cars leaving the pit lane there. Who's front of the queue? Nathan Smith-Adams in the Bilstein Black Falcon. Leading the way out in the McLaren there, 720. Just coming round McLean's and Coppice down Starkey Straight. We'll be doing everything they can here. Everyone's trying to get the tyres in the right window, get everything warmed up. I suspect we may end up having a queue at the end of the lap as people try and get a bit of space in front of them. Hey Corey, how you doing? So it makes it round Goddard's the final corner and goes across the line to start his first flying lap. 10-minute qualifying here, so every lap is vitally important. You don't want to invalidate these early ones. You want to get a nice banker lap in. Hey, I'm good, thanks. I'm good. Thanks for the hydrate. Got a nice cup of tea on the go. So Nathan Smith-Adams working his way through the crane of curves down to the old hairpin there. Up along Starkey's Bridge. Around McLean's. Just here. And round Coppice. Hey Alex, how you doing, man? Down into the S's, looking neat and tidy so far. Yeah, we've got quite a nice sized grid. Currently 29 cars on the grid here, so good turnout. Nathan here coming down to Goddard's final corner. Crosses the line at 126.7. I would expect that to be beaten, and it does get beaten straight away by Damien Konchik with a 126.4. Let's look down the field a little bit. We got Tobias Hackanson in the Team WRT BMW. Just coming around onto Starkey Straight. BMW a pretty strong car around this track, so would expect him to be relatively high up the field here. Coming down towards the Melbourne hairpin, nice and early on the power. So we have had Christian Muller putting his Audi up into provisional pole at the minute. Just seeing what Tobias is going to come across the line with, and it's a 28.3, so currently P15. Let's have a look up towards the front now. I mentioned a minute ago, Christian Muller beaten Damien on that first lap around, putting in a 1 minute 26.1 for provisional pole at the minute. Oh, that's not ideal there though. But that does give us time. You saw in the background there, we've got Luca Amaral in the Rita Engineering tonight. So he's taken the plunge. Been struggling a little bit with the car, but yeah, he's gonna give it a go nonetheless. So good on him. We'll check in with him throughout the night, see how things are going. As he comes around the final corner, around Goddard, and crosses the line for a 129.3. So pretty good time there in the Rita. Jumping up towards the front of the grid again now. We have got Chase Jones in the BSR Lamborghini. Oh, just goes a little bit wide and invalidates, but he was on an improved lap there. So we'll jump up to Damien. Damien driving the Ferrari tonight in the lovely looking Big Brain livery there. Rita, you love, yeah. So this is going to be touch and go here, whether Damien can beat Christian for the provisional pole on this lap. He's looking very close at the minute. Lost a little bit of time through that final corner. Pushes him up to P2, so he's 300ths away from that pole position at the minute. Looking a little bit further down, who else is improving? We've got Darren Jones on a good lap. He's currently 3.5 tenths up. Currently in P9, but this could be a good improvement here. Darren Jones in the Pseudo Racing Lamborghini. Crosses the line, improves, but doesn't actually gain any positions from that improvement. So, still P9 for Darren Jones there. Who else is improving? We've got Anders Amundsen in the Big Brain Racing McLaren here. Currently 2 tenths up on this lap. P6 at the minute, but this could be enough for P3 maybe, if you can keep it up. Anders, a relatively new signing for Big Brain Racing. Coming down towards the S's. There's a little bit of time through there. They must have really hooked it up on the previous lap. Still is improving though. Out of the final corner and across the line. Moves himself up to P3 there. Who else have we got on an improver? We've got Nathan Smith-Adams here. Currently early on in his lap. Currently already about 3 tenths up though, as he just comes around McLean's. And round Coppice. Lost a little bit of time there. You can see Damien just behind him there is actually improving. In fact, Nathan's lost a little bit more time there. We'll jump on board with Damien Konchak here. Currently 3.5 tenths up on this lap, so he's got 2 more corners to try and take that pole position. Christian Muller in the pits, so Christian's not going to improve. So, Nico Dobos just going up to the provisional pole. We'll just see what Damien does coming round the final corner. And it is pole position, or at least provisional pole for the time being, a 125.7. We did see Nico Dobos there as well, in the lovely Christmas wrapping paper liveried Lamborghini. He managed a 126.0, so currently P2 for Nico. Looking a little bit further down, we've got Chase Jones is improving as he just comes around this final corner. This is going to shoot him up the table a little bit. P6 up to P4, so 126.18. It's getting very tight up at the front now. Who else is improving at the minute? Got Nathan Smith-Adams, again improving, but loses time as we switch to him coming out of the S's there. No one at the front massively improving right now. Let's jump to Tom Venters here in the pseudo racing Lamborghini. He is currently about a tenth up on this lap, just coming around Coppice and onto Starkey Straight. Down through the S's. Ooh, actually invalidates through the S's there, so that's going to be the end of his qualifying. Anders Admundsen currently about 2/10 up, but lost a bit of time through the Melbourne hairpin there. Still is about a tenth up, so this could be enough for a position or two maybe, depending on on the exit. No, he's lost time through the final corner. Sam Brackstad in the Big Brain Racing Porsche here, going around the final corner. He's going to improve by around about 8/10. Pushes himself up to P6 there in the Porsche. Good improvement there. Just for those of you on Rita watch, Luca Amaral P20 with a 128.6. Cracking time in the Rita. We do have Jacob Hart just coming around the final corner, last across the line. He improves to P21 with a 128.6. Quite a frantic qualifying there, so we'll take you through the grid once they form, ready for the race start. So how is everyone doing today? Everyone ready for some racing? Could be quite an interesting race. Quite a large grid. 28 cars still here, so someone must have left or had some issues or something. 28 cars around Donington Park. Quite a tight and twisty track. Could be quite difficult to overtake. Not sure what has happened here. Why we're paused. Just holding on for a minute. Few technical issues going on in the background here, so bear with me. Still trying to just sort out this technical issue that we have. Not quite sure what's causing it at the minute, so bear with me. We'll get racing underway shortly. There we go. We got there. So we got there. Got to the race. Just a few minutes now to wait for the formation lap to start. Apologies for the delay there, everyone. So everyone will be making the final checks here, checking they've got the right strategy, which should be pretty straightforward today. No pit stop requirements in this race. It's a flat out and furious 30-minute sprint to the finish. Another minute and 40 seconds to go until we start the formation lap. So let's take it through the grid. Pole position. We have Damien Konchak in the Big Brain Racing Ferrari. P2 we have Nico Dobos or Dobos. I'm not quite sure on your name, so apologies if I butchered that. Nico in the Lamborghini. P3 we have Christian Muller in the Audi. Another Big Brain Racing driver there. P4 we have Chase Jones in the BSR Lamborghini. P5 we have Anders Amundsen in the Big Brain Racing McLaren. P6 we have Sam Braxtad in the Big Brain Racing Porsche. Then in P7 we have John Gray again for Big Brain Racing in the McLaren. P8 we have Tom Venters in the Pseudo Racing Lamborghini. Then in P9 we have Nathan Smith-Adams in the Bilstein Black Falcon McLaren. P10 we have Ryan O'Sullivan for Big Brain Racing in the McLaren. P11 is Darren Jones in the pseudo racing Lamborghini. P12 is Russell Matthewson in the Hex Ferrari. P13 we have Christian Jones in the pseudo racing Lamborghini. P14 we have Moritz Danhausen in the Eiffel Racing powered by GTU Ferrari. P15 we have Dan Johnson for Roadrunner Racing in the Ferrari. P16 is Neil Aldridge in the Big Brain Racing Ferrari. Then in P17 is Chris Jenkins in the CJJ BMW. P18 we have Tobias Hackanson in the Team WRT BMW. Then in P19 we have Adam Kaler for Big Brain Racing in the BMW. P20 is Luca Amaral rocking the Rita for Big Brain Racing. Then in P21 we have Jacob Hart in the Audi for Headless Chicken. Matthias Blau is in P22 in the Bitterball Racing Team Ferrari. Then P23 is Mario Mariano in the Apple Mario Bentley. A lot of Mario and Marianos there. P24 we have Ruben Bakima in the 4-hour Spa Ferrari. P25 Rob Firminger in the TGS Racing Ferrari. P26 is Alexander Reet in the 3-wide Honda. P27 is Jordan Mamadou in the 3-wide Aston Martin. P28 is Evan Kveen in the 3-wide BMW. So that takes us through the grid. I'm glad I started a little bit earlier than usual because Damien Konchak leading them away on the formation lap. Already going through the S's. So they will be just about to start forming up the grid here shortly. I'm going to take a quick swig of my drink before we start. So just coming up to the final corner, and we're about to get this race underway. If anyone has any predictions or anyone they're supporting, feel free to put them in chat. That would be great. Just as a quick shout out, this race or this league is sponsored by Track Titan. So every race we will have prizes for the top 3 sponsored by Track Titan. And we come around the final corner. And we are about to go racing. Lights go green. Damien leads away from pole. That Ferrari not getting the best of starts. But managing to hold the inside line. Nico trying to send it round the outside. But there's not a huge amount of room out there. We'll switch to Helicam. Looks like someone's going a little bit slowly on the outside there. Not quite sure who that is right now. But yeah, Damien away well out in front. I think that might be Chase Jones has dropped back a little bit. It is. He's lost a position there to Anders Amundsen at the start. He now has John Gray all over the back of him. Looks like we've got a mainly clean start through there. John Gray all over the back of Chase Jones here. Looks like up ahead as well we've got Christian Muller on the attack against Nico Dobos. As they come down towards the S's for the first time. Difficult over to... Oh, a little bit of contact there. Ends up costing Christian the position there. So Anders Amundsen up into P3. Oh, we got... Oh, that was late there. Very late. By... Who was that? Chase Jones there. Let's... see if we can get a replay of that, because that looked a little bit sketchy. So through the S's, little touch on the grass on the outside there. late on the brakes, takes a bit of evasive action. Well avoided there by Nico Dobos, who unfortunately loses a position. Puts Anders Amundsen up into P2. So just waiting for this replay to end and we'll get back to the live action. Here we go. So yeah, a bit late on the brakes there from Chase Jones. Unfortunately losing a bunch of positions from that. If we jump up towards the front, we still have Christian Muller all over the back of Nico Dobos. As they just come around onto Starkey Straight once again. Real close racing between these two. A little bit safer between the two of them this time through the S's. They have got John Gray right up behind them, so won't want to be making any mistakes here, but all of this is allowing Damien to kind of stretch his lead out front. Gap between P1 and P2 at the minute, 1.9 seconds. Looks like we're going to have a move here from Christian. Ooh, had to think about it. He's got the inside line now, but that's going to become the outside for turn 1. Does look like we had a move there from Chase Jones, so let's just jump back 15. Yeah, good exit out of Melbourne hairpin. Almost alongside into Goddard's and gets the move done on the inside there. So good move there, good recovery so far from Chase Jones after the earlier incident. It does look like we've got Tom Venters pushing to try and just getting on the AstroTurf there, losing the back end of the car, losing a couple of positions as a consequence. There's a lot of action going on early on in this race. Looks like we've got Sam Braxton struggling a little bit for pace at the minute as well. He's going to have Chase Jones up the inside of him. That also allowed Nathan Smith-Adams and a little bit of contact there, I think. A little bit of contact. Sam Braxton just moving out into the gravel there. Let's have a quick look at the replay of that. Yeah, just moving a little bit, not maybe realising the car was there on the inside, and a little bit of contact sending him out into the gravel. Does look like Smith Adams has also got past Tom Venters there, so let's have a look for that move if we can. Or has this already happened? You can see them almost full wide there in the background going into the Melbourne hairpin. So Ryan O'Sullivan and Sam Braxton having a good old inter-team fight here. Get on bonnet cam for Sam Braxton here. Right up behind Ryan O'Sullivan, getting a much better drive out of the corner there, out of the old hairpin, but not able to make the most of it. These two have now got Neil Aldridge right behind them, so it's three-way Big Brain Racing battle here. Just going to jump up ahead because it looks like we've got a battle going on between Russell Matheson in the Hex Ferrari and Moritz Danhausen. Oh, and it gets the cutback coming out of the S's. Not sure that was entirely on track, but nothing too dangerous about that, just side-by-side action. Catch my breath for a minute. And then we go again. So currently, just to take you through the leaders, we've got Damien Konchak out on his own in the lead now, 2.6 seconds ahead of Anders Amundsen in P2. We then have Nico Dobos in the Lamborghini in P3. He's being closely followed by Christian Muller. Christian not able to make the move yet on Nico. They've been fighting pretty much since the start. We then have a little gap back to John Gray in P5. He's closely followed by Chase Jones. Chase Jones trying to recover after that little lockup they had at the start and running deep into the Melbourne hairpin. Then we have another little gap back to Nathan Smith-Adams. He's being followed by Tom Venters in P8. We then have Christian Jones in P9. Russell Matheson in P10. And then Moritz Dunhausen P11. Ryan O'Sullivan P12. He's being followed by Sam Braxted in P13 and Neil Aldridge in P14. We do also have Luca Amaral in the Rita in P15, so looks like he's doing all he can to try and hold those cars up behind him. That Rita not the best car around here, not by a long shot. So the cars behind Luca, we have Chris Jenkins in the BMW in P16, Jacob Hart in P17, Dan Johnson 18th, Adam Kaler P19, Alexander Reitz in P20, Tobias Hackinson in P21, Mario Mariano in P22, Matthias Blau just getting the overtake actually there. Was Darren Jones. So Darren Jones has dropped down the field, trying to make his way back through. He's made the move there on Matthias Blau, P23 and 24. We then have Rob Firminger, Evan Keevan, Jordan Mamadou, and in fact a three-way fight here. Jordan Mamadou, Firminger, and Evan Keevan, sorry, at the back end of the grid. So this is where majority of the action seems to be at the minute, is in this this 3, 4, 5-way fight for P23, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we'll stick with this for the time being. There's some good action coming along here. Does look like Dan Johnson's just managed to get a move done on Hart here, up on the inside into turn 1. Adam Kaler there in the background behind them, just looking to pick up any pieces if there are any mistakes from the cars ahead of him. So Chris Jenkins all over the back of Luca Amaral. Having a look as they come down into the S's. And he's got the move done on the inside there. Looks like Ryan O'Sullivan making the move there on Russell Matheson. Russell coming back into the next corner. Round the final corner, that is Goddard's. So we've got a good three-way fight between these. Let's jump on board with Samuel Braxted, currently in P13, chasing down Ryan O'Sullivan and Matheson. The Porsche looking very strong through this first sector. More so than the McLaren and the Ferrari ahead. Just not quite able to make the most of it though. Down into the S's, so 3 of them through there nice and neatly, nice and safely. Does look like Sam's got a run here on Ryan. The Porsche should be better on the brakes here on the inside. And he gets the move made. Ryan looking to respond here, but not able to get the run there into Goddard's. So that is a job done. Looks like we have a fight going on with Christian Muller and Nico Dobos. Looks like Muller on the outside becomes the inside into the next corner, into the old hairpin there. Like a little bit of a logjam here. It does look like Christian Muller's got the job done there on Dobos. So we'll see if he's able to pull away now that he has got past, or if Nico can make a move back on Christian. Well, it looks like in the background there we've got Chase Jones looking to make a move on John Gray. He's on the outside though, so should get a better exit from John Gray, and he does. Well, we got an opportunistic move there from Nathan Smith-Adams on the inside of Goddard's. So these guys really battling hard here. Looks like a little bit further back we got Sam Brackstad still trying to make a move on Matheson, but not quite able to at this point. So let's jump back up to this battle for P5, 6, 7 and 8. So Jay Hart disappeared. Okay, not quite sure what happened there. But yeah, Nathan Smith-Adams on the attack here against John Gray. But through that attack there, that's allowed... who is this now? Tom Venters, is that? Or is that... sorry, Chase Jones there through. Tom Venters looking to make the move as well, but he gets a little bit blocked out there. So it's very tricky here in the midfield. Like these guys trying to attack, but then leaving themselves open for attack from behind as well. Tom Venters looking to the outside of Goddard's. Looks like we've got a move here from Sam Brackstad on Russell Matheson. Looks like Brackstad maybe has finally got that move made. He's going to be on the inside now into turn 1. And yet he has indeed got that move made. So Sam Brackstad up to P11. He was in P19. Showing him down in P26 for me now. So maybe a little instant there somewhere. We missed that off camera there. Does look like Darren Jones still making his way back through the field there. He's up to P19 now. And we did miss there. Matheson managing to get back ahead of Brackstad there. So let's running a little bit wide in turn 1 there, allowing Matheson back through. So he's going to have to do that all over again. And yeah, this is probably about the closest battle we've got. Actually, Darren Jones is right up behind Luca Amaral now when this replay ends. So Luca Amaral starting to struggle a little bit in that Rita. Unsurprisingly, it's not a nice car to drive around here. Darren Jones much better exit there out of the S's. Looks like he has got a good run now coming into the Melbourne hairpin. And yeah, up the inside, gets the job done. And takes that 17th position. So good recovery from Darren Jones. Luca having a look back in the Rita, but not it's just not good enough at anything, that Rita. Looks like we've got Chase Jones all over the back of John Gray. This is for P5 and P6. So John Gray at the minute managing to hold off Chase Jones. We've got 13 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in this race. So we are well past half distance now into those final 13 minutes. Still got quite a close group here. So we've got Chase Jones, well, John Gray, closely followed by Chase Jones, closely followed by Nathan Smith-Adams, closely followed by Tom Venters. So P5, 6, 7 and 8 all pretty close together. We'll jump on board with bonnet cam for Tom Venters here. See if we can see the action unfolding ahead of us as we go down into Redgate. All four of them cleanly through Redgate. It's a lovely section of corners now, down through the Craner curves and into the old hairpin. You've got to be so committed through those corners. And then we climb back up the hill again into McLean's. Quite a difficult off-camber corner. Got to run out wide to make the most of the exit. Hard on the brakes into Coppice. You want to get on the power as quickly as possible because we've got a bit of a straight now. Down onto Starkey Straight. We're then going to go back down the hill. Hard on the brakes into the S's. Careful of track limits both sides. A little bit back uphill, a little bit back downhill again, and then hard on the brakes into the Melbourne hairpin. Climb back up the hill to the final corner, which is Goddard's. And then across the line to complete the lap. Does look like John Gray's struggling a little bit out in the front of this group. And while all this has been going on, we have had Anders Amundsen close up to Damien Konchak. So that gap now at just under a second. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if anything comes of that. Yeah, Chase Jones still trying to chase down John Gray here. Looks like he's got a little bit of a run here. Or just not quite close enough. It's difficult overtaking place there into McLean's. And he might put himself a little bit out of position now with Nathan Smith-Adams behind him. Manages to hold on to it though. So this group really fighting hard here for the lower positions of the top 10. It does look like a little bit further back that Sam Braxton managed to get past Russell Matheson. Well, Matheson trying to fight back. The gap between these two is very close still. Let's jump on board with Russell Matheson here. We come down into Redgate. Sam Braxton maybe starting to struggle with tyres a little bit in that Porsche. You know the Porsche can be quite hungry on its tyres, especially the rear tyres. Down through the Craner curves and into the old hairpin. Ooh, a little bit sketchy from Matheson there. And that puts Ryan O'Sullivan right on his tail. Not quite able to capitalise from it though, unfortunately, for Ryan. Comes round onto Starkey Straight once again. Down into the S's, and this has also allowed Neil to catch back up to the pair of these. So Neil Aldridge right on the back of Ryan O'Sullivan now as well, as they go down into the Melbourne hairpin. So close battle between these two. We'll jump back up to Chase Jones, John Gray, Nathan Smith-Adams and Tom Venters. So these four still very close together here. P5, 6, 7 and 8. These four could finish in any order really between these. Not too long left to go though, so it's kind of getting to the point where if you're going to make the move, you're going to have to get it done soon. Just over 7 minutes remaining in this race. Down into the Melbourne hairpin once again. It looked for a minute there like Nathan Smith-Adams might get a bit of a run on Chase Jones there, but not quite able to make it count. This is giving John Gray a bit of leeway out in front though. A little bit wide on the exit there from Chase Jones. Nathan Smith-Adams definitely right in the slipstream there behind him. We've got Ryan O'Sullivan making the move on Matheson there. Let's have a look back at the replay. So on the outside into the final corner, a little bit deep there from Matheson, and Ryan getting the cutback there on the inside. You love to see it, love to see the cutback. But yeah, the battle between these two is still very tight. Matheson trying to fight back. And running a little bit wide there. That could be the end of that fight between them. That has allowed Neil Aldridge now to catch up to the back of Matheson. Oh, yellow flag there from Ryan O'Sullivan. Didn't quite catch what happened there. Oh, just catching the AstroTurf there, and oh, heavy contact with the tyre barriers there. Not ideal. Only loses a couple of positions there with that. So Neil Aldridge now on the back of Matheson. Trying to find a way through in these closing stages. It's Ferrari versus Ferrari. A little bit wide again there from Matheson in that final corner. I think Neil had half a look there, but not quite close enough to make the move there. Down through the old hairpin. So jumping up ahead, it does look like John Gray has managed to get a bit of clear air between him and Chase Jones behind. That gap at just over a second. Then behind Chase Jones, we still have Nathan Smith-Adams, and he is closely followed by Tom Venters. So the three of these now fighting for P6, 7 and 8. As we come right out of the final corner and across the start-finish line to start another lap. Into Redgate. Down through the corner curves. Into the old hairpin. Someone's kicking up a lot of dust there. Back round onto Starkey Strait. Looks like, have we got some back markers getting in the mix here as well? So back markers could come into play here as well. Smartly gets out of the way. Number 25, that is Bakima. What happened to Chase Jones there? Looks like he's... Is that a disconnect? I think that might be a disconnect. That's unfortunate. This close to the end. Yeah, we still have Tom Venters on the back of Nathan Smith-Adams. So probably going to be one more lap after this one, I think. So if he's going to get it done, he's going to have to get it done quickly. And out in front, we've got Anders Amundsen has closed that gap to under a second to Damian Konchak again out front. There's not too much time left to go there to try and make a move. Jumping back a little bit, John Gray has managed to catch up to the back of Nico Dobos.
Leaders on final lap now.
In fact, he is right on the back of Dobos as they come down towards Goddard's. Looks like Dobos struggling a little bit on those tyres in that Lamborghini. Lamborghini not the best car around this track, but doing well so far, managing to hold it in P4. Oh, runs a little bit wide there, Dobos. So we jump on board with John Gray here, trying to make the move on Nico Dobos. It's a little bit twitchy on exit himself there, though. We're going to have to jump away from this for a second, because we need to catch our leader. Coming up to the final corner, coming up to Goddard's for the final time. That gap has come down to well under a second now to P2, but it's Damian Konchak who is going to cross the line and take victory in round one of the 12 Days of Christmas. He's closely followed by Anders Amundsen in P2. P3 is Christian Muller. We then look back at this battle, and Nico Dobos is going to manage to hold on to P4. John Gray is going to come across the line in P5. Nathan Smith-Adams will come home P6. We then have Tom Venters in P7. Christian Jones in P8. Moritz Danhausen in P9. Sam Brackstad P10. We're then going to have Russell Matheson in P11. Neil Aldridge P12. Just waiting for Dan Johnson to cross the line. He's going to come home in P13, closely followed by Ryan O'Sullivan in P14, Darren Jones in P15, Adam Kaler just coming around the final corner in P16, crosses the line. We then have Jordan Mamadou in P17, Alexander Reitz in P18, Evan Kvien in P20, Tobias Hackerson in P21, Luca Amaral 22nd, Matthias Blau 23rd, Bekima 24th, Jacob Hart 25th, and Rob Firminger in P27. So thank you very much for everyone watching tonight, and thanks to those racing tonight. So that is the wrong screen, and I apologise. There we go, that's better. So yeah, thank you very much everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. We will be back tomorrow night with round 2, which is going to be from Mizano. So it could be a very different race to what we've had tonight. A very different track, very high speed. And we will be back every other night for the next 11 days after today. So I hope you can join us for a few more of these races. Once again, thanks to Track Titan for sponsoring this series. They are offering prizes to the top 3 in every round. So yeah, thanks to them. And yeah, check them out. Check out IMB Racewear if you would like any team racewear like what I'm wearing here. Also, check out our merch store. All of that information can be found below. If you're interested in getting involved with sim racing, you can find all that information of how to get to our Discord and everything else down below. So yeah, that is it for me for tonight. So thank you very much, and I'll catch you tomorrow night.